Andrew Jackson's performance during the election of 1824 foretold of a new era in American politics. In the first presidential election in which the popular vote truly mattered, Andrew Jackson received far more votes than any other candidate. Was it enough to make the enormously popular general president? The election of 1824 marked the first time in U.S. history that no candidate ran as a Federalist, and a total of 5 Democratic Republicans sought the office of the president. As President James Monroe's Secretary of State, John Quincy Adams of Massachusetts seemed a natural choice, but party officials nominated the temperamental William H. Crawford of Georgia, Monroe's Secretary of the Treasury. Crawford was selected by a congressional caucus, alienating many who sought a more open process for selecting candidates. Aside from Adams and Crawford, the 3 other candidates each had substantial regional backing. John C. Calhoun of South Carolina had served as Monroe's Secretary of War and was a staunch defender of slave owners in the South, but lacked support outside of the region. Speaker of the House Henry Clay was well known throughout the country. A gifted speaker and political compromiser, he had a power base in Kentucky, but his American system of protective tariffs and nationalism alienated Southerners who favored states' rights candidates such as Calhoun. Such regional divisions, along with a new wave of election changes, opened the door for a popular national figure such as Andrew Jackson. The general and U.S. Senator from Tennessee had become a household name thanks to his defeat of the British at the Battle of New Orleans, and his campaigns against Creek and Seminole warriors in the South. Jackson dubbed himself a defender of the Republic as a way of appealing to a widening electorate. The election of 1824 marked the first time that property ownership did not play a role as a criterion for white males to vote. Although John Quincy Adams attempted to present himself as a Jeffersonian Federalist, many only saw him as the son of Federalist leader John Adams. Southerners objected to Adams as an opponent of slavery for criticizing the Missouri Compromise of 1820. The number of candidates involved in the election was a result of the previous election system breaking down. In the summer of 1824, an unofficial caucus of less than 1/3 of eligible congressmen nominated William Crawford to oppose Andrew Jackson, who had been nominated by the Tennessee legislature. Adams supporters denounced the action, and the Massachusetts legislature nominated Adams. The Kentucky legislature did the same for Clay. In the midst of the chaos, John C. Calhoun dropped out of the race and announced a bid for the vice presidency. Because there were no Federalist candidates involved, the election of 1824 would be determined without reference to party affiliation on the ballots. As the campaign intensified, Andrew Jackson became the clear favorite. From Pennsylvania to Illinois, the size of his rallies far outperformed those of his opponents. Of the 24 U.S. states, 18 would choose presidential electors by popular vote, while 6 would have their state legislature decide. Jackson emerged as the only candidate to receive significant nationwide support. In the 18 states where voting took place, he received 151,271 popular votes. Adams came in second with 113,122, while Clay gained 47,531 and Crawford 40,856. In Electoral College returns, however, Jackson only received 99 votes, falling 32 shy of the votes needed to secure a majority of the votes cast. Adams received 84 electoral votes, Crawford 41, and Clay 37. Without a majority winner, it fell upon the House of Representatives to select the victor. As Henry Clay received the fewest electoral votes, he was eliminated as a choice. However, as Speaker of the House, he became the most influential person in determining the outcome. The House election occurred in February of 1825, with each state receiving one vote, determined by each state's congressman. Most of Clay's supporters, along with some Federalists, cast votes for Adams, resulting in a 13-7-4 win for Adams. Shortly after his inauguration, Adams announced that Henry Clay would be his Secretary of State. Many people accused Adams and Clay of colluding for personal gains against the will of the people. Jackson insisted that Clay had offered him support in exchange for the Secretary of State position, but he refused. Jackson argued that Clay offered the same deal to Adams as part of a corrupt bargain, and that Adams accepted. Clay denied the charges, but occupied the cabinet position. In anger, Jackson resigned from the U.S. Senate and returned home to prepare for the 1828 election. Despite coming up short in 1824, he garnered the votes and admiration of many poor and working-class Americans, further democratizing American politics.